the locker. That's what your locker looks like. And all your shit goes in. People work out with those when they're not bolted to the ground. Bust people's heads open with them. Now everybody knows inside a prison, locks, razors, knives are known to be the main weapon that people use while you're in there. For this video, I'm going to be telling y'all how an inmate got his arm broken by other inmates with a floor locker. Check this one out.
Haha, Dom the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga. Yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone, I'm a charger, don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see you ass, you gon' leave airlifted.
What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today I'm going to be telling y'all a story that took place while I was locked up. And an individual ended up getting his arm broken by other inmates. Alright? Now, they didn't just do like you see in movies where they put you on the ground, grab you by your arm, get you in the arm bar and a pat. No, it didn't go like that. I'm going to give y'all the situation, what took place to lead up to him getting his arm broken, and I'm going to tell y'all how they did it. Okay? Around this time, we actually had sports season. Okay? For those that have been incarcerated before, y'all know what I'm talking about. It isn't the time of year where you're watching football and you're watching basketball or soccer or the Olympics on TV. It's the time of year where you actually have sports going on the compound. Sometimes you got basketball season where you actually have dorms that play against each other for people who made the team. You have football season where they do the same thing. You have soccer. You know, you have handball. Some places got ping pong tables. You know, you got cornhole. You have spades tournaments. There's all types of different things going on around this time of year. And for this one, it was actually football season, okay? And, you know, you got dorms that go against each other, you know, and you have a whole Super Bowl, you have a whole, like, real deal playoff games and everything. Okay, now, around this time, people take the sports dead ass serious, okay? For anyone that's been locked up, you know how it is. Even if it isn't this time of year and someone's playing sports, whether it's basketball, soccer, you know, softball, whatever it may be, at the end of the day, motherfuckers get in arguments. People literally get put in situations and go through shit behind that game. Because you know why? Nobody likes to lose. Nobody likes to be a sore loser, you know. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are sore losers. You feel me? If they feel like they're losing, if they feel like that person got one up on them or whatever it is, you know, they're going to act out and they're going to cause a scene. People get beat up and stabbed behind this type of shit when you're locked up. You know what I'm saying? Think of the movie The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. Remember when he fucking went over there to the basketball court and how them boys were like all against him when he first got there, but he had heart, so they fucked with him and everything? You have things that take place like that for real inside of prison, okay? Now, this video doesn't lead to an individual getting his arm broke for being a sore loser. It's actually more grimy, and they did what was kind of, you know, right, you know, behind it all. You feel me? How it all led to this. But anyways, there was a very important game coming up around this football time. And the reason that they decided to break this individual's arm is because he was the quarterback of the team. You feel what I'm saying? They knew he had an arm. You know, even when it wasn't, you know, game day or just a regular day throughout the year, even when there was no football games going on or nothing. If the guards had the footballs out, because sometimes they don't allow the balls on the compound, you know, to be played with because it leads into physical altercations. Sometimes they won't let you just play with them. You know, it's got to be like a game. But anytime the ball was out on the field, this individual would literally be out there throwing the ball. Like that's something he loved to do on the streets. That's something that he bragged about all the time. He felt like he was up here compared to everybody else when it came to the ball because he knew how to throw a football and he was real good at it, okay? But what happened is the reason they ended up breaking his arm is because there was a very important game going on. So what he ended up doing was, around this time, everybody's betting. Okay, everybody's like, okay, well, you got B dorm going against G dorm. You feel me? Them boys in G dorm are raw, so I'm going to put all my money on them. You feel me? What this quarterback ended up doing, which is kind of flawed, you know what I'm saying, to his whole team, is he wanted to rig the game, which means he wanted to throw the game. Okay, he wanted to actually throw interceptions, throw picks. You know, he wanted to, you know, fuck up on purpose, but bet against his own team in order to make some money. So he technically, they found out when the shit got put in throughout the money pool, when everybody was betting and gambling on it, you know, there's always a man on the compound that everybody gives their ticket to, you know, that everybody places their bet with. You feel me? That person actually found out from someone else that an individual who put the money in was just a cover-up, but it was really the quarterback. You understand? And it's crazy how it all happened, because everything in the dark's going to eventually come to the light. So what it was is, of course, he's not going to just say, oh, yeah, man, I got 250 on that team to win the Super Bowl or whatever game it was, and, you know, I'm playing against them. Here's 250, though. Because then it'd be common sense, like, okay, he must be losing on purpose. What he did is the individual that he actually had go put it under their name got into some shit. And when he got into some shit and got put in confinement, he thought he was going to have a hit on his head if the dude that was the quarterback, you know, didn't reap the money. So in order from him feel like he wasn't going to get hurt or harmed, he sent a kite to the compound to let everybody on the compound know. Basically, not everybody, but it got out like that. To let people on the compound, certain individuals, to know that, hey, I'm going to be getting transferred. You know, when the money goes through of the thing, make sure what's-his-name gets his money. You know, he wanted the basically the dude who held all the tickets and shit to know, make sure bruh gets his money if you know, they lose, because, you know, it was on him, blah, 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 like that. So he got word of it and was like, damn, he's the QB of the other team. So he went and told not just the people who, you know, were playing against him. You know, he let them know, like, basically, okay, you feel me? Like, he's finna throw the game for y'all. You feel me? So anybody want to bet on this team, make sure they bet. Because if not, you know, you ass gonna lose your money. This QB's literally throwing the game. You feel me? And then, of course, they were all with it because, you know, they're gonna win free money. But what the dude did, that was the pot owner, he didn't tell his team. You see what I'm saying? Like the dude who was throwing it. He didn't tell his team. So he purposely let them and everybody who thought on that dorm that their dorm was going to win, he let them purposely lose their money. And the reason he did that is because they would have, you know, a reason to take it out on this individual. You know, he wanted something to happen to this individual before, you know, like, the game wanted to go down. It would be like everybody would have to rebet if this guy wasn't the quarterback. You feel me? If they harm this guy, you know, before the game took place, then that's going to make people's bets change, because there might be somebody else that's in that dorm that ain't on another team or something like that. Not to mention, some people play for dorms that ain't even theirs. You know, you might have a homeboy in that dorm and he knows you're good at football or basketball, and they beg you to play on their team and shit like that. You feel me? So if they did anything to this quarterback before the game, then it would switch positions. You feel me? And then it'd be somebody else that does it. So the people who were betting against him might feel like, oh, well, you know, shit, I only betted against them because I knew that dude was throwing the game. You know, now it might be a tough, close game for real. Because at the end of the day, the people who were on that dude's team, the one that was throwing the game, they're not going to throw the game along with them. Because now you're putting yourself on that platter against everyone who's betting for you to win. You understand? So what they did is, when the game went and everything like that, the quarterback started throwing the game. He started throwing the game. He threw a couple touchdowns, you know, to make it look legit. But then he threw a bunch of picks, fumbles. And from my point of view of the game, okay, and I'm going to be dead ass real with you, I ain't even one of the individuals that knew this shit was going on until after the fact, when he ended up getting his arm broken. You feel me? I was one of the individuals that got to come out with the dorms and sit on the sideline and watch the fucking game. You get what I'm saying? We watched them run up and down the field and stuff like that. But even my opinion, from like me watching and me seeing what was going on, I felt like, when I seen him fumble one time, I felt like he threw that bitch out of his hand. You know what I'm saying? Because you think about it. in prison, this wasn't tackle football. This was flag, okay? The inmates are the referees. You know, they got whistles and shit like that too. So it's all inmates. You know, you have a flag, you pull it off. You're not allowed to tie knots in your flag or nothing like that. It's got to be just clamped on you. So it's like, how does someone run up to grab your flag and you act like you're going to shake them and then you just, like the way it looked, I'm like, damn. Like that boy fumbled like that. Like it didn't even, to me, I felt like he just threw that motherfucker in the air and gave it over to the other team. He was throwing the game. You feel me? And I didn't know any of this. I just, from my point of view, from this one play I remember, it looked like, you know, if anybody on the outside end was looking in and caught it like I did, they should have peeped the game like I did. You feel me? And they ended up losing, of course, you know, because you can't really win when you got a quarterback that's working against you, that's on your team, and you don't even know it. You feel me? So then they finally told that team, you know, that, hey man, your quarterback basically threw your game. You know, he was basically, he betted against y'all and everything. That's what makes it worse. It isn't like he just threw the shit for nothing. He dead ass like ran his team into the ground, bro, just to make a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? He betted $250 on it. That's a lot of money to bet on a game, especially when you know you're the quarterback, so you call the shots. So like, not only did you bet against your team, but you're the reason that they lost on purpose. You feel me? So a couple inmates that was on his actual, you know, that was in his dorm, they called him up there into the cell, right? And I found out all the shit about the rigging the ticket against his team and all that. I found out all this after this is what happened to him, okay? So they called him up there in the room, said they want to talk to him and all this different shit. And I guess when he walked in the cell, as they were all talking, 2 more came in there. So there was a total of 5 inmates in there with him talking. You feel me? And they basically bribed him to come in there. They told him that they were cooking, that everybody on the team, you know, come get you a bowl, bitch. Come get you a bowl. You feel me? Come, you feel me? We throwing down, whether we lost or not. You know, we still throwing down, bitch. We finna eat good tonight. You know? So he went, got his bowl from his cell, went to walk up the stairs, you feel me? With his empty bowl, thought he was going in there to get him a bowl. And yeah, they were cooking. They had food on the bed, but that was just to lure him in. So when he went in there, they're all just talking and shit, postponing what's going to about to take place and everything like that, waiting for more team players that are actually with it to come in there. You feel me? Because you think about it. When you do something to harm somebody, at the end of the day, you don't know how they're going to retaliate. You don't know how they're going to respond, and you got to be prepared for that. That's why a lot of times when people get into conflicts in prison, one of y'all got to go. One of y'all have to leave the dorm. You understand? You can't rob him or him rob you and both of y'all still sleep here. Because if I rob somebody and let you sleep here, you could wake up in the middle of the night and slice my face open. You could catch me slipping. So me, I'm not scared or nothing, but I'm definitely going to be on beat to where it ain't happening, bro. I done did this dirt towards you, bro. You're getting out my dorm. You feel me? And I would expect you to do the same to me if I robbed you. I mean, if you robbed me, you know, I would expect you to not want me to stay there either. You know, that's just how it goes. Any harm you do to someone, it is very dangerous for both of y'all to stay in the dorm. But at this time, you know, they had more numbers against this individual. So as they're all in there, whatever, they're postponing to wait for more people to come inside the cell, you know, next thing you know, they come in, they crack the door. It looks like they're all just in there, team players, you know, eating and shit like that. You feel me? So I heard from one of my homeboys that was in that dorm, when he came to the school building later that day to tell me, you know, what's going on. We were just chopping it up. He told me that all of a sudden you heard commotion, like boom, 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 all this different, and you heard screaming, and you heard the dude yelling, come on, man. Come on, man. Nah, man. Nah, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's exactly what he told me that the dude was saying. That's what he kept hearing. You feel me? And everybody inside the day room's looking up there a little bit, you know, trying not to get the officer's attention and shit. Next thing you know, they hear a bunch of bang noises. And then they hear the dude screaming. What the bang noises is, depending on where you land at, what dorm you're in, what institution, not every ground locker is bolted down. You understand? People can pick them bitches up and bust you in the head with it. You know, you could be down there on the bottom tier talking shit, and he could stand over you on the top tier and throw that bitch over on your head and split you to the medulla meat. You feel what I'm saying? People work out with them. You know, stuff like that. So, majority of them teammates held him down, while another teammate, they picked the locker up, and basically broke his arm. Like, just kept banging his fucking arm. Just kept banging and banging. And that's what the banging noise was that my homeboy heard. You feel me? And you heard him screaming. You feel me? I'd be able to give you more details if I was in that dorm at the time, but I wasn't. You feel me? So he told me that when the dude was hitting him with the locker and the dude was screaming, he seen from, because his cell was a couple cells over, he said when you go up the stairs, when you turn to go to his cell, you could see in that cell. And he said that they had him, his arm, like they had his shoulder basically on the toilet, and they had his arm hanging off the toilet, and his fist was like on the bunk, the metal bunk. So all this was just straight up like in the open. And they broke that man's arm over that situation. You feel me? And it was crazy because when they broke his arm, you know, and I'm hearing about this shit. Yeah, the guards all ran down there and everything, you feel me? But they didn't take no one to confinement for breaking his arm. What it was is, the dude, when his shit was broke and he was in pain, he went to the officer station and he kept it real. He told him that he did it while he was playing the game earlier in football. He's the quarterback. And they knew of him being the quarterback, you feel me? But they recall him not having an injury in the game. They recall everything was perfectly fine. We done had chow already since then. So they knew something happened. They knew somebody did something to that man's arm because he was the quarterback. You get what I'm saying? And the funny thing is of it all is, when he went to the guards and they took him to the infirmary, did whatever they did, he got put in confinement. He didn't come back on the compound, shit like that, because, you know, them dudes wouldn't want him in that dorm no more because they would expect he's going to retaliate. So he went to the infirmary with a broken arm. Next thing you know, the guards started spreading word around on the compound and saying, you see what happened to the dude who tried to rig the last game? You see what happened to the dude? And then the next couple years, like while I was there at the same institution, every time there was a quarterback, you know, like the guards would say, like over the intercom, don't forget what happened to last year's quarterback. You better make sure you know what you're doing. You better, like they would always speak on that quarterback guy. You see what I'm saying? So it just shows, man, everybody's in it for themselves. You see what I'm saying? And like I said in the intro, man, there's more than just knives and locks and razors to this shit. You know what I'm saying? People will use anything. Anything that can hurt you, they will use. You feel me? Think about it. Just think of that experience. You going to prison, whether you did something wrong or not, just thinking about you getting your arm broke, your leg broke. You know what I'm saying? With a locker. That would be like traumatizing. That would always be in your mind like, damn, dog, I can't believe this shit, bro. When I went to prison, bro, them boys broke my arm. You feel me? Like straight up, anytime that dude watches football now, he'd have to look at it like, man, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, dog, you know, shit, I got my arm broke, dog, all over football. You feel me? But at the end of the day, that's his own fault. You feel me? And, you know, that's not just his fault. That's other people's fault who relied on that individual. When you betting or when you're playing a game, you give it all yourself. You bet on yourself. You bet if you feel like y'all are gonna win for real. You gotta make sure everybody's in on it with you, because people do snake grimy shit like this. You feel me? And that dude, by him getting his arm broke, my homeboy telling me this shit in the school building, I feel like he deserved it. He's lucky that's all they did. You know what I'm saying? Which that's bad though if you think about it. But I want y'all to put it in the comment section. Would y'all rather get your arm broke, or would you rather get stabbed up by 6 other different individuals, probably fucking 5 times a piece? You feel me? He got his arm broke. And that's a hell of an experience. You know what I'm saying? Because for those that been to prison, y'all know, if y'all were able to pick one of them lockers up off the ground before or had to slide it over before, you know there's weight behind that shit. You feel me? And you think about it. If you're a strong individual and you got a bunch holding you down, purposely breaking your arm, you feel me? You know that's got to be a traumatized situation. Because at the end of the day, it isn't like a stab situation. You know, a stab situation is just a 1, 2, 3, like, and someone break it up, get them off, or they hit you and they go. They literally held this man down and was like, a bang, a bang, a bang, until they knew that bitch was broke. That's torture. You see what I'm saying? But he got what he deserved. Straight up, I'm gonna be real with you. And no matter what camp he goes to, that shit gonna follow him. No matter what camp he goes to, they gon' you know, they gonna know, oh yeah, he got his arm broke at his last institution because he was flawed. And they ain't wrong for doing anything to him no matter where he goes. That's his own fault. You see what I'm saying? If he would have just did it the right way, especially by how good he was and how everybody knew how good he was, you know what I'm saying? It would have been different. If he was like a trash player and no one was paying attention or no one was expecting him to win at all, he was just a nobody or whatever. But no, he had face as being known as a good thrower, a person that had a good arm. So it's like, all right, now your arm, let's see if you could recover and bounce back from your broken arm. So if you could throw the football the same way ever again. Don't get me wrong, with time and therapy, you can. Your shit'll bounce back eventually, hopefully. But who knows if it ever did or who knows if it ever will. The whole fact is, he had to go through that situation and get his arm broke with a fucking foot locker, a ground locker, all because he wanted to throw the game on some snake shit. That's why you got to be careful, man, what you invest your money in, who you trust. You get what I'm saying? Because they were in the same dorm. That was their homeboy. They was cool. They hung out before football even started. They lived together. So it's like, damn, we live together, we eat together, we share the same showers, everything. We're known as a unit. Now a little bit of chance of getting some money, you backlash and you drop your whole team just to try to win something. You feel me? What y'all think? You think they're wrong for breaking his arm? I don't. You feel me? I think they should have fucking put his head off the side of the toilet and busted his forehead open a couple times too while they were at it. That's how I would have felt if it was my money involved. You see what I'm saying? But it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I was just one of them ones on the sideline watching, and that was before I knew anything that went on. You feel me? And it just looked like he purposely fumbled that ball, which means that was a sign. So when I heard they broke his arm because they found out he, threw the game on purpose, I started peeping. Oh shit, he did throw a couple interceptions. He did fumble. Like that shit's just crazy, dog. You gotta be careful, man, because not talking about the dude who got his arm broken. He got what he deserved, but you gotta be careful on who you put your money on. Even if it's yourself. When y'all are playing and y'all are betting as a whole, as a unit, when y'all are a dorm and y'all are playing in one dorm against another, you gotta make sure everybody in your squad, man, is willing to do their best. Willing to try it as much as they can. You feel me? Because if not, you just threw your money out the window like that. You get what I'm saying? Boy, you break my arm, boy, I feel bad for you. Out of all them people in there, man, that held you down and did that shit, boy, you try to flush that knife all the way to the handle, man, if someone broke my arm. I'm just being real. That's what you would have to do. You think about it. At the end of the day, dog, that shit's so traumatizing, bro. Anytime you see a locker, you think about it. Anytime you see a football game, you'll think about it. Anytime them boys playing catch on the fucking rec yard, you would think about it. At the end of the day, no sirree, boy. Wanna be them. You feel me? But anyways, y'all, I appreciate y'all watching this video. Y'all drop in the comment section, man. Let me know if you ever seen anything like this while you were incarcerated. For the ones who ain't been incarcerated, know things like this do happen. And beware of them foot lockers, okay? Them damn ground lockers are undefeated. Them shits can be used for all types of different situations. At the end of the day, you got to just make sure you're aware of your surroundings and know what you're getting yourself into. You feel me? I appreciate y'all watching. Like I always say, y'all make sure you keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, clout chasers, people that line YouTube for views. Keep them clowns out your circle, man. Motherfuckers who get their arm broken by trying to rig a football game. If you find yourself locked up, you better keep them out your circle. Or you can fuck around and get your arm broken with a foot locker. Till next time, this the one and only. I am my team. Frog.